PB2.
Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth. Tonight we're going to be talking about portion control. And honestly, I don't think we have a clue what a portion is anymore. I know that when I want to have a peanut butter sandwich, I will eat 2 tablespoons of peanut butter before I even get it on the bread. It's true. I'm not kidding. It's true. And that's 200 calories. It isn't even the sandwich yet. And I'm actually eating it off the knife, so I'm not even in my own peril. At my own peril, I'm eating all this peanut butter. So, if I were to actually measure out peanut butter, I think I would be, I think I'd be really surprised at how small amount 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. But now I found PB2, which we all love, and I had a peanut butter sandwich today, and that's only 45 calories for 2 tablespoons. And you don't really eat that off the knife because you have to mix it up, right?
With water.
With water, and but it's delicious, out of this world delicious. So you should try that, PB2. Okay, so this is one way that I worked on portions, is by getting a product that was less calories of something that I absolutely loved. It has to taste really good to me, otherwise I won't keep eating it. So when I don't diet, I eat it. So there we go.
Yeah.
And that's what I do with the peanut butter. So Felicia, you had a few ideas on how you handle portion control.
Well, my food scale, is my friend, as well as measuring cups. I try to measure out everything into single-sized portions. For example, if you have a box of cereal and it says a half a cup is 110 calories, if you measure the half a cup and then you measure the actual weight, because it'll tell you in parentheses how many grams, you'd be surprised how different they are, because the half a cup is just an estimate of how much it is, where the weight is exact.
Right.
So sometimes you end up getting actually more food for the calories than you originally would have.
We're all about that.
Yeah, so it really helps. I measure out meats, 3 ounces of meat at dinner is what I try to do. And if I have rice or potatoes, I measure that, half a cup. So I pretty much,
So weighing and measuring for you is it was something we should all do.
Yeah.
I mean,
it keeps me in control.
Yeah, it keeps you in control.
And you'd be surprised how off you are in your visual measurements at times.
Well, if you
want to be.
if you had ever done Atkins, or I did Atkins, I don't know, and I would have porterhouse steaks, and they would be like this. Now my steak is like this little. And that's probably 4 ounces. So, but you're right. You shouldn't. There's no estimating some things, especially mindless eating things.
Right.
So there you go, back to that.
Except you can't take the scale to the restaurant.
Except you can't take the scale. So what do you do?
So what I do is, when I'm in a restaurant, I try to use the palm of my hand for my meat or protein control, and I figure if I have something bigger than that, then I should probably put it in a box to
go,
take home.
yeah.
And I'll ask the waitress to bring me a box
Right
while
away?
I'm eating, or either right away or while I'm eating. I'll just, as soon as she comes back to say, how is it? I'll say, could you bring me a box?
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
I'm not going to eat all this. So,
And so
I
you
do
got
that.
to have your favorite, but you had it in a portioned control.
Right.
So
right.
that's just brilliant.
And then I also look at my plate, and I try to make it 2/3 vegetables, and the protein, again, just a quarter of the plate if I
Were
can.
you a little stunned when you started realizing what a 4-ounce steak looked like?
Well, yeah, because they say a deck of cards, it can't be any thicker than a deck of cards.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I remember going one time to a restaurant, and they had it was a 4-ounce fillet, and my girlfriend and I were like really trying to watch our calories, and and when it ever came, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to starve to death.
But you don't.
No, we did not finish the steak.
Yeah.
Because we ate so slow because we were conversing, which goes right to the restaurant thing. You're actually out for to have social time.
Right.
So so that goes right to if the slower you eat, the less chance you have. And the other thing is, when you take it out right away, then you put it over here in this stucco container. It's not like they're taking it away from you.
No.
Right? So you can actually
Yeah,
make
it's
it
right
less,
there, right next to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So while you still, and what I like to do too? I like them to bring me that plate, and I ask for a bread plate.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because I really feel like I'm having a lot of food because it's a smaller plate.
Right.
Right? So you could even do that. Like when they bring the salad, we always get the dressing on the side, right?
Right.
And it's always this gigantic salad that I'll never eat all of it. And so I'll take it like that, a little bit at a time. It's a slow process.
The other thing too with portion control is you really realize that you really are full.
Yes.
And that's another trick I think took me a long time to learn is, do I feel full? And if I do, to stop. And I really find it hard to stop.
It's very hard to stop.
Very hard.
Especially when something tastes really delicious.
When I'm home, I try to get up from the table. Otherwise, I'll pick.
Oh yeah, of course, really, honestly. But because we never just make enough for us, for two or
Right.
we make it for 5 or
Right.
10, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
It's very hard to go, and I'm sure a lot of you can understand this, is as hard as when you've been cooking for a lot of people for years, and then all of a sudden you're only cooking for 2 people or just yourself. I mean,
Right.
that is that's really a hard change. Because really, honestly, you can't eat a whole bag of lentil soup. You know what I mean? It's just, you have to freeze it.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's really good. But if you could do that, and you had one more, didn't you?
Oh, well, I was thinking about today, we were in a restaurant, my husband and I, and he said to me, he had a cup of soup. It was chicken noodle soup. And they brought him out a Monte Cristo sandwich.
I love those.
Yeah. But they're really hefty, and he just didn't realize it was going to be so hefty, and it was on a thick piece of bread. And he said, I could have probably just shared that with you and had the cup of soup, and I would have been just as satisfied.
Well, don't forget, a Monte Cristo is a sandwich and a half to start with, and then it's dipped in eggs and, breadcrumbs or flour, and then usually deep fried or however they made it.
I think they just
Did it like a grill, which is just delicious. It's just delicious. So my mouth is watering now that you mentioned that. See, I don't have a problem with food. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So, okay, so yes, but see, that's the other thing is when we go out for dinner, wouldn't it be great if we shared the dinner?
We've done that.
I love to get that, big salad. I do it with Lena all the time. We get the big salad, and then we just each have some. And we've had the cup of soup first. So that's, that sort of really starts to fill you up.
Yeah, it does.
So that's excellent.
Lynn,
Ren?
what do you do?
Well, I order a salad without the dressing, so I enjoy the salad and what's inside the salad. And I just
Without the dressing.
Without the dressing, it tastes really good. If you start eating salad without the dressing, without oil and vinegar, just plain vegetables, you will see. You could actually taste the flavor of the salad without being drowned with the salad.
That's
That's
very
true.
true. That
That
is
is
very
true.
true. Because if you can get away with just putting your fork in your salad dressing and then put it into your salad,
Yes.
you're doing really good right there. But if you can do it without it at all.
No, that's-
But don't forget, you need a teaspoon of oil a day.
Oh, yes.
We're like
Oh,
a
yeah.
Tin Man, so you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure we all get our necessary amount of oil.
Yes.
I think that's not any of our problems. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
see,
so-
now I won't, I'll have to try that because I stay away from the salads because I want the dressing and I know how high in calories a dressing
Oh,
are. So I
yeah.
always tend
But
to
y-
stay away from the salads, and then I get like double vegetables when the meal comes.
But we
instead
had
of
we had to
rice, but-
do if
Yeah.
there's like an open salad, like a buffet like thing,
Mhm.
you could get like broccoli, add more broccoli, fresh
Yeah.
broccoli, and fresh those kind of vegetables onto your salad, and then you'll see that you really don't need all that
Right,
stuff
yeah.
on there.
Well, you know, there's this one salad that I know that's it's black bean salad
Oh,
that you make with
yes.
carrots and celery
Celery,
and
yes.
onions and a little feta cheese, and you make it, you know, you make a little, you know, a lot of it, and then every morning you can put it right on, or every, you know, when you're going to have it, you can put it right on top of your greens.
Yes.
And all that flavor goes all over the place. But I have to have a little vinegar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
And there's no calories in vinegar.
No.
So-
Or, you know, you can make that vinegar, what is that, reduction?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The
that is just-
balsamic
oh.
reduction.
Oh,
It's
that
so
sounds good.
Oh, it's really good. It doesn't have any oil in it.
How you make?
Yeah.
You have to cook it down. You take
With
balsamic
either
thing.
sugar or Splenda
Splenda
or honey,
whatever
or
it makes,
whatever,
whatever
Oh.
sweetener you like.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
And then you
Yeah.
just you boil it.
You
and-
boil it
and
until
it's
it becomes-
it gets real syrupy,
Ooh.
and so then you can just put it on your and then cool it, of course.
Oh,
you
yeah.
do that, and then cool it, and then put it on your salads. Wonderful.
It's
Sounds like it'd
wonderful.
be good
Yes.
over chicken. And fish.
Oh,
Yes.
it would be delicious over chicken. Okay, we have not had dinner. It is so evident right now that we have not had dinner. So, okay, so first you have your salad.
Salad,
okay.
yes, and water and lemon, and then I order a coffee before my meal.
Oh,
So I get sometime like a filling,
Yeah.
and
Well, it's very satisfying, a hot beverage.
Yes.
Which would be this, like the soup, if
Yes.
you wanted, right?
so do you order a main meal?
yes,
Oh, okay.
and then if they order hors d'oeuvres, I make sure that I have like maybe one or two on each plate of hors d'oeuvres, but I would not overload it with bread or anything like that. I try not to self-indulge, because the first thing you do is when you go out to dinner, you always have bread.
I
And it's the
know.
first thing you put on your that or chips on your table.
Well, you know what? My husband did a wonderful thing one night a couple weeks ago. He said to the waiter, "No, we don't want any bread."
You have to have, you have
And
to
it was
have
in
the-
Bertucci's, and you know how hard it is to.
I know, but they're 150
Yes.
calories a piece, and when they put the oil in front of you, I mean, it's just impossible to resist.
Oh,
It's
yes.
hot, and they're just really, you know, it's just it's water and flour.
So it's just better to say no, thank you.
No, thank you, but that's really, you know,
That's willpower.
that's
Willpower.
That is-
That's willpower.
That is strength training for your willpower. But I'm going to tell you right now, if they put Miletti's on my table, I'm eating it.
Oh yes, with the butter, you be packing
No,
it.
you know what? I don't even with that particular Italian bread. I don't need. I've been need any.
I just dip it in oil.
Yeah, and that's the worst way
Yes.
to have it because there's no portion control in that.
No,
You
it's
don't know how
seasonal.
much, you know, but you know with a pat of butter, you know how many calories in a pat of butter, but you don't know how much oil you're getting. I know.
You're spoiling it for
I
me.
don't,
Oh,
I don't mean to, but you know, that is really true. So, okay, so then the main meal comes, and then, and where are you at that point?
well, I'm pacing myself
Yeah, right.
because you're talking, like you say, you're interacting with your company, and and till you set this, come to a satisfaction with yourself and your moderation in your stomach, and say, I have to stop. And then I control myself, and I say, you know what, I will enjoy this later. I have to put it aside, and I just stop eating.
You know what's the best?
And that's really hard to do.
Oh my God.
It is so hard to do.
I'm hitting my mic like I'm sure you're going to be pounding right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
No, that is so hard to do.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you've paid a lot of money for it. and it's
But you can
during
say you
the-
can enjoy it the next day.
That's
See, I don't. I don't.
you don't like leftovers?
I don't because I don't. Because usually when I go to a restaurant, I'm indulging at the restaurant. What I'm choosing is not something that I would normally choose during my normal day. So I don't like to carry it over to the next day. So
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what
Yeah.
you mean. Yeah.
Make you feel
it's
guilty.
kind of like one day turns into 2 days worth
One
of,
day turns into 2 days.
and then
So we have 2 minutes, Denise. Is that your signal to me? Okay, and that is to the 17? That's perfect. Yeah, that is absolutely so true right there. If you start on it, it's hard to stop.
Yes.
That's super willpower right there.
Yes. Yes, it's so hard because then you think, well, should I? Then if I have some room, then I could have dessert.
Yeah, right.
But usually it doesn't come to that.
If they would just give me those little, those portion sizes, those new
Yes.
desserts they're having where you get the 3 bites.
Yes.
I say it's the 3-bite rule. The first one is the appetizer, the second one is the dinner, and the third one is dessert. And by then your mouth is all fresh to the third one to actually have enjoyed it.
Oh yes.
I love when somebody gets something for the middle of the table and everybody does it. It's not
Yeah,
very
me too.
hygienic, but
Oh yes.
but I do actually like that.
Yeah.
And I love sharing food.
Me too.
So if there's a restaurant where it's, of course,
Yeah.
that's not very good for
You can
portion
always take
control.
a knife and cut it and
Oh yeah.
share it that way.
Yes, you could do that.
Yeah.
You could
Depending
order
on what it is.
appetizers instead.
Yes, but you
And
know
then
what?
make that a meal.
So often there are not appetizers that you can order that aren't deep fried or
That's true.
That's
fattening.
true. That's true.
So
that's
true.
That's true.
So now we're going to go to Lena's Kitchen at Cavallo's and we're going to see what portion sizes really are. So I want to thank Felicia, Lynn, and Carol for coming out tonight. I think we had a great discussion on some good ideas for you. So I'll see you in the kitchen. Hi, we were just talking about portion control, and I'm here at Cavallo's on East Main Street in Waterbury with my dear friend Lena.
Hi, Lena.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Elizabeth.
And we're going to show you what portion control really is, what it looks like. Lena, why don't you start with yours right there?
How many of us have gone downstairs in the middle of the night and taken a spoonful of peanut butter and
There goes our golf ball.
there goes our here, Bob. Thank you. Okay, one serving of peanut butter equals one size of a golf ball. Now I don't know about you, but I get more of that on my toast. That's just one side.
But I get more of that in my mouth before it goes on the toast.
Yeah, and if there wasn't a camera here, this would go right
You're
right
right.
in my mouth. So just so you know that this is one serving, and this you're supposed to spread on 2 slices of bread. So remember that when you're looking at peanut butter, it should be about that size.
Size of a
How many
golf
calories
ball.
is the?
190 calories for peanut butter, so use it very sparingly. It's got a lot of good qualities, so you've got your protein and a lot of good saturated fats in it, so you can eat it.
Or you can use PB2, which has 45 calories
Right.
for 2 tablespoons.
Right.
And it's really delicious.
Which is really good. Yes.
Really good. Okay.
This is a pat of butter. This is it. This is 1 pat of butter. Okay, so this is what you're supposed to use on your baked potato, on your
Piece of
toast,
bread.
on a piece of bread, and if you have all of those things in one serving, you're never going to make it with this. This is
Yeah,
40
this
calories.
is really just the smallest amount of butter.
Really, I mean the lightest, tiniest like tickle to the bread.
And that
You
tab
might-
of butter was how many calories?
40.
You might
that's
not
half.
even taste it.
You might just forget the butter. Just forget it.
You just forget it.
Almonds, my favorite. I eat a lot of nuts, and because nuts are good for you. And this little handful of nuts is 1 serving, and this is 170 calories, you guys. So make sure you remember that nuts are one of the highest fat foods and the highest calories for the least amount.
Yeah,
Be
and
careful.
who doesn't go like this?
I've done this twice already.
This is really honestly me.
Yeah.
So I could do that. Yeah, I could do that easily.
Okay, one of my favorites is rice. We eat a lot of rice in my house. This is 1 cup of rice, exactly 1 cup of rice, and this is 250 calories,
So if you're going to have a protein with that rice,
like salmon.
like salmon, which right here we have salmon, which is 4 ounces.
That is 4 ounces.
Look, say, see the checkbook? If you're going to have, that's 240 calories. So now you have a 500 calorie meal and you haven't even, you don't have anything else going with it yet.
Nothing.
So that's part of the deal.
Right. Pasta, this makes me laugh every single time. This is just sad. If someone came to my house, I would be embarrassed to give them this. My grandmother would be going, "What's the matter?
Yeah.
You don't like it?
You
What's
don't
go-"
like it? You don't like my food?
Right. What happened? Are you short on money? Do you want Nonna to give you some money? Okay, that's what my grandmother would say. So this is 1 cup of pasta. It's 250 calories, you guys. Listen, whole wheat doesn't really make a difference.
Doesn't make any difference in the calories.
It doesn't make a difference. It's the same amount of calories. Just make every calorie count. If you're gonna have a cup of rice or a cup of pasta, then add 2 cups of vegetables to it, so that you get a big, huge, enormous
Sort
plate.
of like pasta primavera.
Right. You could do that.
And you'll think that the pasta seems to be the side part of it, and it's so delicious with
Right.
pasta primavera over it.
Yeah.
Really good.
Right. Perfect. How about a potato?
Really good. Lots
Look
of
how
potassium.
cute this little potato is. It's adorable. This is 1 serving of a potato, okay? So when you go to the restaurant and you get this enormous baked potato, you're actually eating 2. And this is 150 calories for this 1 potato. So remember that if it fits in the palm of your hand, just like this tennis ball, that's the size that you're supposed to be eating. Okay, that's a real portion. That's what
I barely ever have had a potato that small.
I don't even know what to do with a potato.
I don't know. Yeah, that's
If I
really-
sent this to my husband, he'd go, "Really? Oh,
Is that
where's
all
the
we're
rest?"
having to eat?
Yeah, where's the rest? Cheese. This is 1 serving. Okay.
My favorite.
I like it too, but what are we doing with this? This is
You
one
don't
little
think of
tiny
all the
piece
times that you're at a
That's a little
party or
taste as I make
something.
my sandwich.
I would have this twice already by the time I actually finish making the sandwich.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm taking slices off and going like that.
100 calories for 1 slice of cheese, you guys remember that. And you know what? If you're you can go with the low calories cheese, the fat-free cheese, but it's a molecule away from plastic, as you like saying. Go with the real deal. Just cut everything else out that you're going to have, so that you can have real food.
Because you want to have real food.
My favorite.
Okay, now what do you got there?
My favorite. I forgot about these. Conveniently, I forget about the chips. All right, so this is 260 calories worth of chips. So I didn't even bother because I'm probably going to eat more of these while Elizabeth's talking. This is 2 handfuls. Okay, 2 handfuls
Yeah.
of regular good old-fashioned
Fashioned potato
green
chips.
old potato chips. 260 calories. Okay?
260 calories. So if you have a sandwich,
Plus.
that's 500 calories.
Right.
And then you have those potato chips, it's 260. So lunch is about 800 calories.
Right. In my deli, I see it a lot. I get customers that come in that want extra cheese, extra mayo, and then have a Diet Coke. Really?
And who
Okay.
doesn't do that?
Ooh, really? Okay. Why not?
That's what I used to do when I weighed 93 pounds more.
Yeah.
I would always have the grinder,
mayo.
the potato chips, and the diet soda.
Diet. Okay.
So, and I never lost weight.
No.
So.
Really?
I wonder why.
Really?
Yeah, right, exactly. Okay, here we have an ounce of olive oil, and you honestly do have to have some oil every single day, because you're sort of like the Tin Man, or we all are, and you need to have it into all of your joints. So that's why you need oil every day.
Right.
So this is an ounce.
Don't be afraid of it.
Don't be afraid of it. Just count the calories in it.
Right.
And this is 119 calories. If this was a shot of vodka, it would be 100 calories. If this was a shot of amaretto, it would probably be 200 calories. Just so you know.
Right.
So we should put vodka in everything instead of olive oil.
Or onto something, my friend.
Vodka instead of olive oil.
Right.
Okay. So we took the salmon, and this is 4 ounces, which looks like nothing to me. I can't even believe it for a second that this would be 4 ounces of salmon. And so that'd be 240. And last but not least, we have a steak here. And this is a little bit bigger, but this is about a 5 or 6 ounce steak. But 4 ounces of steak is 325 calories. So this one here is about 425 calories. And as you can see, the size of that. But this nice thin one, so at any rate, this gives you a pretty good idea of what the calories are for these things. This is portion control. All right, so watch your calories this week, watch your portions, and we'll see you next week. Have a healthy week. Elizabeth. Welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth.
Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm glad to have you.
Yay! So what's this all about? What are we doing?
Today we're going to have Lena Cavallo.
Lena Cavallo.
Lena Hassinger
Passenger, I know her.
from Cavallo's.
Cavallo's Deli?
Cavallo's
On East Main
Deli
Street in
on East
Waterbury?
Main Street.
No way.
You're not really doing that during the show, right?
No, of course not.
Of course we are. This is
No,
what it's
you
all
are.
about.
No, absolutely do not open that mouth.
Arf.
I mean it.
Arf.
Because if you screw us up and we've done well,
Uh-huh.
I have to kill you.
And how would you kill me?
Yeah, I know how. Cold.
She is a hearted assassin.